Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech Dev, your hub for learning web development the easy way. In today's video, we are diving into something super useful, which are forms and input fields in HTML. Now, forms are how websites collect data from users, like login forms, like sign up form pages, search bars, and more. So let's explore how to build them step by step. But if you are just joining us for the first time, kindly hit the subscribe button to get updated about our upcoming videos. Thank you. So let's start with what a form is. Like I said earlier, we use it to collect data. So in HTML, we use to collect users' input, and it starts with the form tag. And inside it, we can include various input elements like the text boxes, like the buttons, like checkboxes, and more and more. Let's take a look at a quick example of a form. So what did I say? I said it includes the form tag. So then, and inside this form tag, we can have the input elements inside it. So I think that's fine. So now, what are the things? What are the things? The input elements we can put into this form, and in which way can we structure them? So that's what we want to talk about now. So let's start with the most basic field, which is the text field that allows the user to type or enter their name or enter their subject, whatever they want to do into it. So let's take a look at this now. We have a label, which I would say for name. Now this label is just a form of showing what the user is expected to input in the box below, and now this is where the user inputs what he or she wants to input. Note, now you can see from all the HTML tags we've been using so far, we have the opening tag and we have the closing tag. But in this input tag, it is self-closing. So we call them this kind of tags self-closing tags, because that's how they are. They don't have opening and closing tags. So we call them semantic tags mostly. So let's continue with this. Types equals to the text. Your type is going to be equals to text if you are asking for text. If you are requesting for text from them, let's give it an ID. ID is just a way of referring to this particular element in the HTML. When we get to CSS, you will understand that better. Name. Let's call it. You can call it anything you like. Name, and let's give it a name. Let's say user name. Now let's check this out on the web browser. Can we see that the name that we wrote in the label tag is exactly what we have here, and this box is exactly the input type. Input is ready to collect your data. So let's take for instance Alex Smith. Fine. It collects anything you want to do. We use a input type for tag for it, but the type varies, and we are going to talk about that subsequently in subsequent videos. You get what I'm trying to say now? So now let's take a look at another example. We can also collect emails and passwords input. Yeah, we can also collect email and password input. And how do we do that? The same process is nothing too hard. Let's see. You can add your label to it. This time we are adding email. So I'll say okay, email. Then that's the label. Then the input. I also use the input tag, but instead of using my input type to be text, it will be email. So email, then I'll give it a name of user email. I can give it an ID of email as well to make it things easier. It depends on your choice. Let's take a look at this now. Email. So you see, as I clicked on the text on the box, it suggested email property. If you take a look at when I click on the name, suggests maybe a random text, any name, but when I clicked on this email box, it suggested email properties, especially only emails. I get what I'm trying to say now. So, and if you want to spoil it, if you want to add a spoiler to it, you can add placeholder saying example at email.com. So adding this placeholder, you can directly see I don't need to even explain the functionalities of this placeholder here. You can see that email as example at email.com. So that tells the user that okay, we are this is a kind of thing, a string that we are expecting. So let's go ahead. Let's we are yet to add our password whatsoever to it. So let's also add the label for password. Password and similar protocol. We are going to use the input tag, but now instead of the text, we are going to use password as the type. Let's give it a name, password, and you can say user pass, just for short stop. Then you can see you make your ID pass as well. Now you see a difference here. What I'm talking about here, the browser automatically validates the email format and also hides the password using dots. So when you click on this name box, you can see that you can type in and you can see whatever you type there. Then this email, you see, it suggests an email, actual email. But your password, let's type Alex. You see, the browser validates it by hiding the password using dots. So that's a beautiful way of creating. Now we've created a very simple form, and if I were you, I would try more. I can add surname, full name, any other details you want to collect. Then drop your whatever your code in the comment section below, and I'll verify it or validate it. Then thumbs up for that. Then let's take a look at another input tag, which is the submit button. In this video, I'll also use an input for it. I'll use an input tag for this. On the notes, I can use button tag for it, but in this video, I'll use an input tag. So submit, the type will just be submit. Then I can just give it a value of submit. I can give it a value of submit. Then now let's see what is going to show up here. Can we see a button shows up here to submit after clicking, inputting the first, second, third. But you know what? There's something missing here is that if you click submit, this will submit. Actually, it will send whatsoever an empty string to the browser. But to avoid this, we have to make use of some keywords in our input element. But before that, let's take a look at other useful inputs that we can make use of. We have the checkbox. Let's take a look at the checkbox. We have should let us label with. Let's label. Checkbox. Just for you to know that this is a checkbox functionality, so it's not too much. Then you can say input. We use the input type, or in this case we use checkbox. Let's leave the name and ID whatsoever alone. Checkbox. Let's take a look at how things are. You can see checkbox. All this you see on websites that we click I agree to terms and conditions of this and that. We make use of checkbox for that. You can click and unclick. You can get the value of the clicks and those box. We'll talk about that in our subsequent classes. Then we can also make use of radio. radio. I don't want to be wasting much time here. Radio. Then I'll change the type to radio. So let's take a look at what we have here. Let's take a look at what we have here. Then you can see radio is circular. Can you see it? Then checkbox is more of a square. Yes, more or less of a square. So then we can also add drop downs, but we'll talk about drop downs and others in our next videos. In our next video. So if you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button to get updated immediately we upload our next video. But before we round up this class, I said earlier that for us to make sure the user inputs every section of this data, there are some keywords we need to include in the input element, which is required. If you add required into all of these elements, all of this input type, they won't be able to submit unless they fill in the information. Let's try it out. Required. So let's try it out now. I'll try to submit now, and let's see if it is going to submit. You see, please fill out this field. So even if you feed this field alone, let's call it Alex, and you've added the required to each input field, it will still have to fill the next field. You fill every of the fields there. So let's take note of that, especially when we are then using placeholder also to guide the user what to input. Maybe like I did for the email. Exactly, you can use placeholder like this name. You can add a placeholder like enter your name. It's going to show just like this email showed, and does not hinder the user of typing. You see, once I start typing, it's gone. You see, I did not type anything relating to art, and this text is showing me that please include an art tag in the element. So that shows you that it's really working. So here's what we've learned today. We've learned how to create a form with our form tag, and we've learned how to use different input types: the label, checkboxes, the radio, the buttons, and I think that's all for today. So, and also how to submit forms. So now you are ready to build your own interactive HTML forms. In the next video, we'll learn how to style your forms beautifully with CSS, and also some other form or input tags. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Uptech Dev for more beginner web tutorial, then comment below what form would you love to build. You can say maybe a contact form, login, or sign up form. See you in the next lesson. Thank you.